temporality because they feel, I need to be loved. So this guy says, I love you, and they're willing to do whatever, even though it's robbing them. And what happened was the moment Eve took of the fruit, she lost the very thing she was trying to get. And the moment we yield to these things, grab for anything other than that revelation of Messiah, we grab for anything other than
counterfeit rather than the authentic.
That's right. We actually lose what we're trying to get. Eve was not insecure. God was still who he said he was. And she was not inferior. She was still in the image of God until she ate of the fruit. And that's the trap we keep falling in. It's why it starts robbing us of our destinies.
Yeah, you know what I believe? Because of fear of failure, you're not even attempting what God has for your life. You're not even touching the greatness that God has for your life. We're going to get rid of that fear of failure when we come back. Don't go away.
We'll be right back to It's Supernatural.
Steve Foss reveals the root of all your problems come from two demon spirits unleashed by Satan in the Garden of Eden. Call now and get Steve Foss must-read book, Satan's Dirty Little Secret, and his life-changing 3-part audio CD teaching series, Fearless. Yours for a donation of $35. Shipping and handling is included. Ask for offer number 9130.
In this brand new, expanded, exclusive Sid Roth edition, Satan's Dirty Little Secret, destroying the two demon spirits. We go deep into the spirit, deeper than we've ever gone before, to show you these spirits, how they work in your life, and how to take authority over them, and to finally, truly walk free.
Through this book, you will learn the key to breaking free from the enemy's schemes to bind, oppress, confound, and deceive you. Begin to fulfill God's destiny and purpose for your life. Through this life-changing audio CD teaching series, Fearless, you will receive an impartation of God's supernatural agape love, the key to overcoming the spirit of fear. Now you can stop these two demon spirits from robbing you of your destiny by getting Steve Foss' must-read book, Satan's Dirty Little Secret, and his life-changing 3-part audio CD teaching series, Fearless. Yours for a donation of $35. Shipping and handling is included. Call or you can send your check to Sid Roth. It's Supernatural. Post Office Box 39222, Charlotte, North Carolina 28278. Please specify offer number 9130 or log on to sidroth.org. Call or write today.
We now return to It's Supernatural.
Hello, Sid Roth here with Steve Foss, and there are people, you don't know where your next dollar is going to come from. You've been unemployed for a while. There's a young person watching right now, and they think, oh, Hollywood has convinced me if I get married, I'll be happy. I guarantee if you're unhappy before you're married, you're going to be unhappy after you're married. It's not changing scenery. It's getting rid of the influences in your life in the invisible world that you're not even conscious of. Steve, tell me about this. I mean, this amazing story. This friend of yours, Rico.
Yeah, this was a young man who at 9 years old was being beat up all the time in the inner cities of LA. So he joined a gang to get a sense of security and value. And then by the time he was 9, or 11, he was a marksman with a 9mm. By the time he was 14, he was helping run illegal guns over the border from Mexico. Came into one of our meetings when he was about 17 years old, and the power of God hit him. He gave his life to Jesus Christ, cast devils out of him, he manifested completely. He came to me and shared with me all the things he was involved in. I said, you've got to get out of this. He said, there's no way out. He said, they're going to kill me if I try to get out. Well, just a couple days later, he was actually summoned to a meeting with the head of the organized crime for San Diego. So here he's sitting down with this man, Charles.
You don't get out of these.
You don't get out. He knew too much information. Yeah. And now he's out basically getting promoted. And they put out a file with his name on it, and right there, and started saying very impressive, and he said, but I'm sorry, but I want out.
In other words, they had every crime he ever committed all documented. They could put him away forever if they wanted to.
Absolutely. And they were impressed with him. Well, this young man turned to the head of the organized crime, and he said, I want out. Well, this guy, Charles, pulled out a gun, took a 9mm with a silencer on it, pointed right at this young man. This young man, friend of mine, bowed his head. He thought he was dead. But at the exact same time, I'm in my car praying. I thought this meeting was supposed to be 5 hours later. All of a sudden, the spirit of prayer came on me. I didn't understand why I'm praying. And out of nowhere, I said, I loose a dozen warring angels. Go now and protect Rico. Well, at the exact time, there's Rico seeing the gun pointed at his head, and all of a sudden he sees the gun begin to lower. He thinks he's going to get shot in the gut. So he looks up at Charles' eyes and sees nothing but fear on him. Charles' hands started shaking.
On this crime guy?
On this crime boss. His hands started shaking. He drops the gun on the ground, turns at this young man, no, alone in the room, and says, "You and all those other guys behind you, get out of here." That crime boss saw the dozen warring angels. So this young man took his gun out. Rico put his gun on the table, said, "I don't need this anymore," turned around and walked out. That crime boss put the order through all of San Diego. Nobody touches that young man, otherwise they deal with me. The power of a supernatural experience. But Sid, it was the fear, it was the insecurity and the inferiority that came into this young man's life. And then fear began to dominate him, and that's what opened the door for all of these other spirits to come into their lives.
And you know, in the days that we're living in right now, in these hard times that we're living in, fear is a very easy thing to entertain, but you don't have to put up with it. Why is fear so insidious?
You know, there's a phrase I say that the walls we build through fear to protect ourselves become the very prisons that enslave us.
That is such a true statement.
We think that fear will protect us. See, fear is completely self-oriented, rooted in insecurity and inferiority. In the times that we're in, the tough times we're in right now, people start feeling insecure. They start feeling inferior in relationships, in finances, in the political realm. And that opens the door for fear to come in, and we then start trying to protect ourselves. But those are the very things that keep us from the breakthrough. And God has sent his love to break through the battle and the war, the stronghold of fear.
So in other words, you're saying supernatural love trumps fear every time.
That's right, because the Bible says that perfect love casts out all fear. How is that so? Fear is completely self-oriented. Agape love is completely selfless. So the agape love of God overcomes and breaks the power of fear. The agape love of God is what gives us our sense of value. The agape love of God is what gives our sense of security, and it will destroy the thing of fear. And fear keeps more people from even stepping out, from even risking, even trying, even believing God, even witnessing, from praying for the supernatural. The fear, what if I fail? And what does that deal with? Insecurity and inferiority. What if I pray for this person, they don't get healed? How will that make me feel?
You know, the set that you're sitting on right now, if I had entertained fear, this set, this studio, this mentoring center would have never been.